Hey everybody, it's your girl Bunny. To all of my returning subscribers, hey, how you doing? And for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. Kick your feet up, subscribe to this family-friendly channel, and don't forget to click the notification bell so you don't miss any posts. Also follow me on Instagram at the same profile name so you don't miss the sneak peeks of what's coming up next. In this video, it's my movie analysis of the breakout movie of the angry black girl and her monster, directed and screenwritten by Bomani J. Story, starring Layla DeLeon Hayes, Chad L. Coleman, Denzel Whitaker, only to name a few. I want to talk about the production, the cinematography, and so much more. It's coming up next. Let's just get right to the synopsis of this movie. So this young teen girl, after her brother is killed in a gang shooting and believing that death is just a disease to be cured, this sort of mad scientist character, Vicaria, played by Layla DeLeon Hayes, experiments on his and other random body parts to bring him back to life. The results become a problem for everyone in the neighborhood, people that were involved with his life before his passing, all the way from the drug pushers to the loved ones. It's just this thoughtful and extremely modernization of Frankenstein, a story of this generation and what horror film fans will absolutely love. It's this brilliant take and switch on Mary Shelley's Frankenstein. Now, this is a horror buzz and has debuted at many film festivals. Let's talk about the director. Now, this is his breakout movie. He's done several short films in the past, born and raised in California, and growing up he loved reading literature and watching films, and he spent a lot of his time developing short stories. And from those short stories, he began filmmaking and creating short films and started to collaborate even more. Now, while at San Bernardino Valley College, Bomani was accepted into the University of Southern California School of Cinematic Arts to study film and production. Since his graduation from USC in 2010, he has developed skills as a writer and a director. The character Vicaria in this movie, played by Hayes, she's this 17-year-old genius and has a life surrounded by violence, police brutality, and drug abuse. After her losing her mother and later her brother to violence, Vicaria vows to stop violence by bringing her family back to life. And she successfully resurrects her brother, but it soon becomes apparent that she has brought back a monster who is hungry for vengeance. On a few interviews, many people would ask him, when it comes to this movie, what can we take away? Who is the monster of this film? Is this a monster to Black Americans being the communities, police brutality, etc.? He says no. He wants the audience to have their own walkaway conclusions without being forced into a definite point of focus. Story gave several interviews at different film festivals, and people wanted to know, how did you pull such heavy hitters such as Chad Coleman and Layla DeLeon Hayes? And he admitted that they just auditioned and they gave it all that they had. And from those auditions, he knew that they had something. Now let's talk about some of this cast. Layla DeLeon Hayes is surely an astonishing, developing actress who has a lot of promise, and I am sure we will see more of her in the future. Nominated and attending in London, United Kingdom, the British Academy Film Awards. She's now the winner of BAFTA Game Awards for her character in the God of War Ragnarok. Adding even more amazing heat, Chad Coleman, many of us know him as Tyrese from The Walking Dead, and Dennis Cuddy Wise from the HBO original series, the inimitable series, The Wire. We can't forget about Denzel Whitaker, who's also starred in Black Panther, The Great Debaters, Training Day. His resume goes on and on as well. Now, I know many of you are thinking, wait a minute, I didn't know this movie came out. I ain't seen a preview. Why they doing black film like that? I ain't heard that. Oh, hold on, pump the brakes, all right? Filming for this movie began June of 2022 and wrapped later, a month later in July of 2022. Now, it wasn't until May 4th, 2022, it was announced about the casting, all right? The releasing would begin on February 1st of 2023, and it was announced that the film would be released by South by Southwest Film Festival. After February 22nd, 2023, it was announced that RLJE Films had bought the film ahead of its XSSW premiere date and would release the film to more theaters late that summer. Then it premiered at another film festival, the Overlook Film Festival, which will begin March 30th of 2023. And the poster of the film was released May 4th, 2023. So there is a lot of development. There's a lot of things in the works when it comes to movies that are released at film festivals, when we talk about production and all this good stuff. The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster is in theaters June 9th and on demand digitally June 23rd, okay? And SXSW is the launching pad, which is excellent for The Angry Black Girl and Her Monster. And it's gonna expand to more theaters. And also AMC is doing a great job with also starting this nationwide release. So they're in good hands. They're in really, really good hands. And it's the development. It's not like a Paramount, you know what I mean? And it's not this Lionsgate production. So it's these baby steps in becoming monumental. You got to step back and even do your research when it comes to the development stages of the movie Ray, right? Starring Jamie Foxx, and its debuts and developments through film festivals. That's why film festivals are very important. And for fans to reach out and become intrigued and see short films and see films that had developed in full-fledged films and their timestamps and their castings. And with this film, getting heavy hitters such as Chad Coleman, and I want to send a shout out to him and applaud him for auditioning for these type of roles and being open-minded to that. Many developed, and I'm talking about seasoned actors, sometimes don't reach out to certain films, but that tells you the artistry of a lot of good actors. When they read a script and they think it's great and they want to have this opportunity to audition for a film, whether it's for a debut director or not, means so much. It means that they really love their craft and they want to keep developing their craft. All right, y'all. So now we have reached the best part of the video, your favorite part of the video, my review. So I was one of the lucky ones to be able to get a sneak peek of this film at a debut, and I'm gonna be 100% honest. Now, many people that do film recaps and reviews, they kind of give this little cliche review and they're not honest and they don't say how they honestly feel. But I have critiques, right, that are not biased, and I'm looking at it from all angles. Let's talk about the pros and let's talk about the cons. The pros to me, let's keep in mind, this is a debut film, okay? And this is doesn't have a budget like a lot of other films do, okay? And the beauty of this film is that you have a production team such as Crypt TV. They are an American entertainment company focused on the development, right, and the producing and distributing of horror-themed digital content. And they have this emphasis on monstrous and reoccurring characters in linked universes, right? And it was founded by Jack Davis, so a big shout out to him. So keep that in mind. Keep that in mind while you're watching this film. The plus is the cinematography. I thought the cinematography was absolutely amazing. Beautiful shots, awesome lighting. And lighting and feel and grade of film is so important when it comes to horror, because if you're not pulled in, if you feel at any point in time where you see something that's fake or you see something that's out of place or editing is wrong, it pulls you out of the film and then you really can't capture the emotion. This movie does a really good job of pulling you in and having you feel some type of fear, having you feel like, wow, this is really engulfing and I'm really just curious about what's next. Chad Coleman, being an amazing vet of acting, did a wonderful job with his role, doing an amazing job with having you feel emotion and connection with his character and his struggles. I don't want to give anything away. And also Leia doing a wonderful job. I have no doubt she's going to be amazing in the future. And the horror aspect of the film, the idea behind it and pulling from the idea of the original Frankenstein and taking it a step further, really making you think think about how these characters feel so defeated. And also going to the main character and her feeling like there's no turning back in what I've done and having no regrets, of course, until there are some negative things that happen. But you have this character of desperation. You do feel the desperation from the character. You do feel the urgency and the eagerness of her to do something, being a young adult and feeling like, if I can't do blank, 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 let me use my smarts, let me use my know-how, even though I have all of these negative reinforcements around me, maybe family's trying to be supportive, but not really. I'm in this challenging environment where I can't help myself. Let me take power into my own hands and see what I could do. Like any mad scientist movie, there's always this boomerang of the mad scientist and not knowing their madness, not knowing their passion behind it, but there's this eagerness into change something, whether it's for their personal benefit or whether it's for the people around them, or either to send a message. With these characters, just as the director said, you can come to your own conclusions of what that is. Now let's go to the cons. The cons that I felt about this movie is that the running time is 92 minutes, a good 1 hour and 32 minutes. I feel that the script itself needed more development. This was such a wonderful idea, and there are so many films, you guys, that have amazing ideas, amazing trailers, amazing concepts, and there's something about the script that is missing. I feel what's missing is depth. There's this eagerness from the script, from the director, to deliver a message or to deliver a feeling. And I feel that if the script had taken its time just a little bit more and went further into the life of the monster per se, the life before the tragedy, had we went more into the development of the family, had we went more, I feel that is what was missing, and that dropped the ball for me just a little bit. And you kind of feel cheated. You kind of feel like, man, this really could have went to the moon if we just would have taken our time with the script and developed the script a little bit more. And I think it's hard for screenwriters sometimes to release their baby and let somebody else put their hands into it and mold it into something else, because you don't want your idea and your concepts to be lost in the sauce of other writers and other people's ideas, because maybe they won't understand, maybe they won't develop it like you think. So I think sometimes it takes screenwriters just to let go of their baby just a little bit and let that development happen. And instead of pushing it out, really taking the time to add more depth into the characters and use that whole 2 hours. Take us to 2 hours. But then again, there is budgeting, right? There are aspects of maybe filming, permits, all that stuff, I think has hindrance sometimes on the runtime of movies. And I'm guessing that maybe that's why they didn't take it all the way to 2 hours. I feel had they took it all the way to 2 hours and really took that time with that script, boy, oh boy, this would have been amazing. Another con of the movie is that when you do have heavy hitters, such as Chad, such as Leia, such as, and when you have all of those amazing actors, sometimes the other developing actors in the film will kind of pull it down. And then it becomes some subpar. And then you just have Whitaker, Coleman, and Leia carrying the scene. And that happens sometimes with films, unfortunately. And I know sometimes you have to have big names to get a film out there. Sometimes you do have to have big names to get people interested, because if it's full of quote unquote the harsh, critically acclaimed nobodies or no names or the unknowns of a film, the audience might not be interested in even spending the money on going to see it. So I get it. So a lot of scenes, you had other actors, unfortunately, that kind of hindered the scene, and the delivery sometimes diminish the scene in its entirety. And as the viewer, you're like, okay, I get where they were going with that scene, but okay. It's kind of like you accept it. So I will say kudos to this film, because just like Get Out and all these other amazing movies, you walk out like, man, I want to have a debate about this and talk to some people about it. This movie can start a lot of conversations. It can. And I feel that story is still developing, and for this to be his breakout film, not bad, dude, not bad. And kudos to you, and get more of those ideas. And when you do have those ideas, sit down with more screenwriters and writers' rooms who could develop and really take it there when it comes to your script and your ideas, because I thought it was amazing in this, for you to be your breakout film. You've done other short films, but for this to be your big breakout and have big production companies behind you and possibly blossoming into something else, I really think that you can really go to the moon, man. I mean, to do another universe. So kudos. So my final review for this movie, and it's gonna seem really harsh, but it's a wonderful 6 out of 10. Now, I know that may seem really low, but majority of the 6 are coming from the vets. It's coming from the cinematography. It's coming from the idea. And the other 4 points are, unfortunately, I feel that the script not really taking it there, and maybe having some of that cast that was a little lackluster. I don't know if it was the script or what. I don't know. It was just like something was missing. And a lot of the issues at times and things talked about were a little redundant. And I just feel like if you're going to have something that's redundant, you got to take it there. You got to take me to that next level, so I don't feel like it's subpar. So I can feel like this is a cinematic horror thriller, absolutely classic. Now, one thing that I did notice, and Rotten Tomatoes, y'all think y'all slick. When it first came out, y'all were talking about it was 88, then it was 91. And now that it's getting some traction, Rotten Tomatoes is giving it 100%. Now, Rotten Tomatoes, don't flip the script and change your mind, right? Now that you see people are liking it, it's the scores going up and up, and it goes down. Like, I synced it with a T. I synced it. I saw what you did. But go see this movie to support it, because it's a wonderful idea and it's a wonderful concept, and support a wonderful cast, wonderful ideas. Support Black cinema when it needs to be supported, right? And in the meantime, in between time, I know a lot of you are probably gonna go see this and you're like, girl, I don't know what you're talking about. This was 10 out of 10. That's cool. Let's debate about it. That's cool. And sometimes we do need to have these harsh critiques, because it's only going to make Black cinema even better, okay? Because we can do a lot of this on our own when it comes to production, and more companies are saying that, wow, they don't have to have this company to produce and put this out, because it's just good, okay? And we need to support it. Go support it. Go support the craft of acting. Go support the wonderful cinematography and the executive producing. Shouts out to the executive producers, Jeremy Elliott and Jasmine Johnson. Kudos to you guys being wonderful executive producers. You guys are developing and growing as well. Absolutely amazing. Go see this film. No matter how you feel about it, your critique may be different from mine, but go support it, because it's wonderful ideas, and we've got to support wonderful ideas, because the cinematography was hands down absolutely amazing. Crypt TV was wonderful in the production, and I'm excited that XXXW and AMC companies are putting their foot in the door. Now another question that you guys may have: where can I see it? I mean, you got me all hype, girl. Where can I see it at? So it's going to start streaming digitally June 23rd, so that's coming up. But make sure that you check out AMC. I looked it up for you guys. AMC has a lot of locations that are showing the film. So look it up and see in your area where this movie is being shown in the theaters, because we don't want to wait till June 23rd, right? Try it in the meantime, in between time, go see this at the theater. Go see it on the big screen. Go see it with the amazing sound. Talk about it, debate about it, show your love to all of the cast. Make sure you follow them on Instagram, send them messages, let the director know, hey, you did a good job. This is wonderful. wonderful. Keep going, man. This was your debut film. We need to support each other and we need to support great ideas. Let me know what you think. Like this video. Share this video. Leave your comments down below whether you agree or disagree. Remember to keep it friendly in the comments and also no spoilers, okay? If you do leave a spoiler comment, please make sure that you leave the note, spoiler alert, okay? And give people the opportunity to read your comment by choice. All right. Love y'all. See y'all again. I know it's been a minute. We got a lot coming up. Y'all take care. Remember to love yourself and each other. Bye.